How are you feeling, Paddy?
Feel amazing. I do. I've never felt this good going into a fight, and it's going to be a spectacular night come Saturday night.
I thought you were going to say there's no maybe, Bisping. This is done. This is written in the stars.
It's happening. So I've already visualised it all. I know what's going to happen. I'm gonna be leaving the arena with
Paddy the Baddy being the favorite. I'm well aware that Paddy the Baddy can beat Justin Gaethje, but certainly you must be well aware that Justin Gaethje can beat Paddy the Baddy. Because 2-1 doesn't sound that way. Even money sounds that way.
Win, I'll say Paddy Pimblett for the win. But I'm gonna leave you with this. Remember, going in for yourselves. Remember, gamble responsibly if you're gonna. Remember, I'm not sure if he can do that for the 5 rounds. Does Gaethje's got having Whitman in his corner. He's got a good team. He knows how to set up some things.
Justin Gaethje versus Paddy Pimblett has ignited a fierce debate, with UFC experts already weighing in on the highly anticipated matchup. Paddy's unwavering self-assurance and willingness to engage head-on meet Gaethje's relentless pressure and devastating striking. Predictions are flooding in, and this fight is seen as a pivotal turning point that could redefine both men's careers. Let's break it down.
Gaethje get it done. I'd love to see Justin Gaethje with the belt. He deserves it. Orthodox boxer, it's definitely possible. I'm still sitting with my percentages here. I'm still sitting with, I think, about 40% towards Justin Gaethje, about 60%.
Dana White recognizes a familiar pattern in Paddy Pimblett's ascent, a narrative impossible to overlook. He highlights the same potent mix of charisma, confidence, and constant external doubt. A fan favorite, consistently underestimated by critics, Paddy, according to Dana, repeatedly enters bouts as the underdog, only to emerge victorious, rewriting the narrative in a manner reminiscent of an early, underestimated Conor McGregor.
Are you surprised that Paddy is at this level? We knew he was a fan favorite, the fans loved him, all that, but did you think that he was a championship level fighter? Well, or did something change?
He reminds me of the Conor McGregor story, because, came in with this great personality, they talk, and they were always overlooked. Every time they fought, everybody believed that they were going to lose. I mean, Paddy has been that guy more so than Conor McGregor. And obviously this is a huge test for him. And, Gaethje's been wanting a shot at the title again. So
now he's got it.
Here we go.
Right. Yeah, I think it was after the Chandler fight that I said, God damn, this guy is the real deal. He's not, with Paddy. Obviously they both fought
every time
Chandler.
he fights, he's the underdog and people think he's going to lose.
Michael Bisping, meanwhile, highlighted the unprecedented stakes surrounding this contest. A Gaethje win would crown him the first 2-time interim champion in UFC history, while a Paddy victory would paradoxically add to the lightweight division's already bewildering collection of interim belts. And as Bisping noted, this interim title proliferation extends beyond lightweight, particularly after the recent events in the heavyweight division.
If Justin Gaethje wins this weekend, he will be the first ever 2-time interim UFC champion. If Paddy wins, he will be the 4th interim champion in the lightweight division, which is absolutely insane. 4 interim champs in one division. But interim titles, obviously, they're not just exclusive to the lightweight division. We all know what happened.
Chael Sonnen framed this bout as a pivotal turning point for both fighters. A sustained winning streak for Paddy inevitably leads to matchups with elite contenders like Ilia Topuria and Arman Tsarukyan, with only the sequence remaining to be determined. However, a loss for Gaethje would rapidly shift the narrative, raising the uncomfortable question of his fighting future, a query Sonnen courageously posed. For years, Gaethje has openly stated that this bout would dictate the continuation or quiet conclusion of his world title aspirations. Paddy's continued success is very likely to lead to both Tsarukyan and Topuria, with only the order to be decided. Conversely, if Justin Gaethje is defeated, the question of whether he will fight again becomes a significant, yet unspoken talking point. Gaethje explicitly declared prior to this fight that he sought a title opportunity, or he would simply walk away from the sport, not to fight elsewhere, but to retire. His focus wasn't on Paddy Pimblett, but on securing a championship bout, understanding the path through fighters like Topuria or Sarukian. Gaethje was vocal about this world title fight or nobody stance, a sentiment that might typically irk an audience, but in this case, it resonated.
Right, I mean, this could turn into Paddy the Baddy versus Sarukian. Could turn into Paddy the Baddy versus Sarukian, and then Paddy the Baddy versus Ilia Topuria. If Paddy keeps winning, it is more likely than not to be both of those guys. The only thing that we're going to fight over is the order. Meanwhile, if Justin Gaethje gets beat, is he going to fight again? That's an interesting question, too, that nobody's talking about. Justin Gaethje said before this fight, give me this fight. And by this fight, all he was talking about was the title. Justin Gaethje, I don't think had his sights set on Paddy the Baddy, but it didn't matter. I think his sights were set on Ilia Topuria, understanding that could turn into Arman Sarukian. But Justin Gaethje was very vocal to say, give me a title fight or give me my walking papers. Let me go. I'm not going to go fight somewhere else. I'm just not going to fight. World title fight or nobody. Justin Gaethje was very open to say this. Generally, that would bother us, the audience, but it...
On the other hand, Tim Welch offered a clear breakdown of the matchup's danger zones. Both fighters understand the lethal potential of a well-placed left hook or right hand. Welch specifically identified Paddy's aggressive forward blitzes, noting how his chin rises during these charges. Such an entry, while difficult to capitalize on, presents an opportunity. Welch contended that if any fighter possesses the timing and discipline to plant their feet and land a clean counter, it's Justin Gaethje, especially with Trevor Whitman in his corner.
Paddy Pimblett was talking about, I know his only way to beat me is to hit me with a left hook and hit me with a right hand.
The only way I can see me getting beat is a big right hand or left hook catching me clean. But Scousers don't get knocked out, lads, so that's not going to be happening, is it?
So they're aware of that. When Paddy Pimblett sprints forward in his blitzes, his chin is above the shoulders. He's sprinting forward. Easier said than done, sitting back with a left hook or planting and throw a right hand. If anyone's going to counterpunch and crack Paddy Pimblett on his Scouser jaw, it's going to be Justin Gaethje. If anyone can do it. Trained by the great...
He reiterated this point, asserting that the fight is destined to become a grueling war. Should the fight remain a stand-up affair, with Paddy exchanging blows in the pocket against Gaethje, the peril intensifies with each successive strike. A prolonged striking contest creates more openings for Gaethje to deliver a decisive blow. Though execution is challenging, this scenario represents Gaethje's most potent threat.
They can do a dogfight, and this Paddy Pimblett fight's going to turn into a dogfight. I know it is. The longer it's on the feet, the longer Paddy Pimblett's sitting in the pocket trading with Justin Gaethje, the chances open up for him. The chances open up for him to chin Paddy Pimblett.
Alexander Volkanovski concluded his analysis by unequivocally picking Paddy Pimblett. He cited Pimblett's consistent ability to defy expectations and execute sound game plans.
Who am I going with this one? Now, fan of both guys. I've bet against, not bet against, I've picked against Paddy Pimblett a few times, right? I'm going to stop doing that. I'm going to stop doing that, and not only because he's proved me wrong so many times, but in his last couple of fights, I've seen great strategy, footwork, distance management, good understanding of the danger threat, and having the right options or the right strategy around dealing with that. He's shown me that in his last couple of fights. So, so I think and he's going to need that against a Gaethje. You're going to need to be able to know how to stay out of danger, know the range, know the movement, find the right times to clinch up, find the right times to, whether land your kicks, land your jabs.
Volkanovski anticipates a controlled, early pace from Paddy, not flashy or damage-focused, but rather intelligent and effective. While sustaining this strategy for 5 rounds is a question mark, Volkanovski's prediction favors a decision victory for Pimblett, with a submission remaining a potential outcome should the chance arise.
It's a tough one. But I'm going to go with Paddy. I'm going to go with Paddy because, like I said, I'm tired of picking against him. He's proved me wrong many times, and he's shown me he can work a game plan. I think you see what I'm saying in them earlier rounds. You'll see what I'm saying. You're going to be sort of, like, oh, he's playing safe. He's not going to do anything incredible. They're not going to be massive rounds with him, massive damage. I don't see that at all. I see just him staying safe enough and winning them rounds. But does he do that for 5 rounds? Let's see. So there's my details. So I'm picking Paddy. I'm going to pick Paddy. Decision win. Maybe he gets a decision. Could get a submission. Could happen. Decision win, I'll say Paddy Pimblett.
Stephen Thompson observed that Justin Gaethje has already encountered and overcome every facet of Paddy Pimblett's fighting style. He highlighted Gaethje's victories against elite strikers such as Max Holloway and Dustin Poirier, and top grapplers like Charles Oliveira, illustrating that Gaethje has handled opponents embodying each of Paddy's strengths.
I just don't see Justin Gaethje losing to him. When this fight was first announced, I was like, oh, Paddy's gonna get the takedown. Paddy's gonna do this, Paddy's gonna do that. But then I started thinking to myself, if he doesn't get the takedown, his takedown ratio, I believe, is it's less than 26% or something. So every time if he does miss a takedown, every time he misses a takedown, it's gonna get more difficult for him to get one. That's one. 2 is on the feet with the pressure. It's not going to be good. Not going to be good. So I'm going to go with Justin Gaethje. I believe that Justin knows it's all or nothing right now. That maybe that puts a lot of pressure on him to perform. Maybe that puts a lot of pressure on him to win this fight. But it's no different than any other fight that Justin Gaethje's ever been part of. He's been in the top 3 rankings, I believe, or top 3 or 4 in the last 4 years, 5 years straight.
Thompson expressed skepticism about Paddy's ability to secure a takedown, and even if successful, believes Gaethje possesses the strength to quickly return to his feet. Furthermore, Thompson raised concerns about Paddy's weight-cutting regimen, suggesting it could lead to a significant slowdown in later rounds, particularly after the first 2, providing Gaethje a crucial advantage as the fight wears on. Thompson argued that there is no singular aspect of Paddy Pimblett's game that Justin Gaethje hasn't already faced and handled from a previous opponent, whether it be predominantly strikers like Rafael Fiziev and Max Holloway, or a submission specialist like Charles Oliveira. He remains unconvinced Paddy can take Gaethje down or keep him there. Thompson's crucial point is that if Gaethje can navigate the initial rounds, Paddy's strenuous weight cuts between camps will likely lead to his performance degrading significantly in the later stages of the fight.
There's not one thing that Paddy Pimblett does that there's a guy that Justin Gaethje has fought that he hasn't done. So I mean, look, Rafael Fiziev, Max Holloway, predominantly strikers. Dustin Poirier, predominantly striker. Fiziev again, Charles Oliveira, the best jiu-jitsu guy in the sport. I mean, most people would argue it, but I think he believes he's got the most submissions in the sport, in UFC history. And he couldn't get it done. Or he did get it done. I was looking at it the other way around. He got it done. I just don't think that he'll be able to get, I don't think that Paddy Pimblett's going to be able to get Justin Gaethje down. If he does, I think that Gaethje will be able to survive and get himself back to his feet. Gaethje's a big boy for 155 pounds. So is Paddy, though. But where I think if Justin Gaethje can get through the first, second round, if he can survive the first, second round, I think Paddy cuts too much weight, doesn't keep his weight down in between camps. And I believe that it ends up being one of those situations where you start to see Paddy's.
According to Demetrius Mighty Mouse Johnson, this fight isn't about who hits harder. It's about who shows up more prepared. And in his eyes, that's Paddy Pimblett. He believes Paddy has been leveling up in training, focusing more on discipline, conditioning, and having a clear game plan instead of relying on chaos. While Justin Gaethje is still one of the most dangerous and violent fighters in the division, his style depends heavily on pressure and durability, which can be risky against someone who's mentally sharp and well-prepared. Johnson thinks that if Paddy survives the early storm and sticks to a smart, patient approach, his preparation could be the key factor that leads him to beat Gaethje on fight night.
Getting a lot of aches and bruises on where Paddy comes and fights, he's always fresh. When you look when he fought Michael Chandler, when he fought Bobby Green, when he fought Tony Ferguson, he's always fresh as fuck. He's getting the work in the gym, but he's always fresh. And I think we're going to see a fresh Paddy Pimblett go out there and just be able to take out Justin Gaethje. I just love Paddy Pimblett when he's able to, oh, mate, you're going to push Mick's cage, hey? Boom, there's a body, there's a flying triangle. Oh, you slam me? Oh, there's an arm bar. His transitioning on his back and his grappling, what he did to Michael Chandler, was absolutely beautiful. How he submitted Bobby Green, just beautiful technique. And I think Justin Gaethje just loves to stand and be, I mean, he loves to knock people out, and he's been knocked out multiple times. And I just think if Paddy Pimblett is smart, go out there, stay outside the void, throw body kicks, move around, and just really.
Kamaru Usman lauded Justin Gaethje's discipline and multifaceted approach. While often perceived as a wild brawler, Gaethje's training reveals a methodical, precise system. His combinations are the product of a well-defined system, meticulously refined over countless hours with Trevor Whitman. Usman expressed admiration for Gaethje's in-cage execution of this strategy, acknowledging that discussions about his legacy remain ongoing. He then analyzed the mental battle between the two combatants. Pimblett's awareness of Gaethje's threat might lead to an early cautious approach. However, if Gaethje fails to assert immediate dominance, Pimblett tends to gain confidence and momentum, much like his bout against Michael Chandler. Therefore, Gaethje must be calculated, apply intelligent pressure, and establish his presence from the opening bell. Despite the considerable hype, Usman's pick is Justin Gaethje. Henry Cejudo then offered his perspective, emphasizing the potential trickiness of this fight for Gaethje. He admitted to being impressed by Pimblett, citing the smooth transitions in his triangle choke submission against Bobby Green. While a victory secures Gaethje's path to major matchups like Ilia Topuria, Cejudo warned that a loss here could be career-defining, potentially his final defeat, given how explicitly Gaethje and his team have framed this high-stakes period of his career. So what's your take on this showdown? Who do you think comes out on top? The relentless pressure of Justin Gaethje or the crafty, unpredictable Paddy Pimblett? Drop your thoughts in the comments, and don't forget to hit that subscribe button for more fight breakdowns and predictions.